Beloved Masters, pause for a sacred moment and breathe deeply into your sacred heart center. Allow the noise of the outer world to soften. Allow the endless movement of thought to become still. For there is something your soul has been trying to reveal to you, and many of you are now reaching the point where this truth can no longer remain hidden. A great awakening is unfolding within humanity. Not merely an awakening of ideas. Not merely an awakening of information. A remembrance. A return. A sacred return to the truth of who you are. For many lifetimes, beloveds, you entered the realms of density and limitation. You agreed to participate within realities where separation appeared real. You experienced fear, sorrow, struggle, and uncertainty. You learned through contrast. Through challenge. Through forgetting. And yes, forgetting was part of the divine plan. Because only through forgetting could the joy of remembrance eventually emerge. And now many of you stand at that threshold. You have begun remembering. Not completely. Not all at once. But enough that the old world no longer feels comfortable. Enough that your spirit feels restless. Enough that your soul whispers, there is more. You may notice this in unexpected ways. You may find yourselves withdrawing from situations that once seemed meaningful. You may discover that conversations centered only upon fear, drama, or limitation feel strangely exhausting. You may feel emotionally distant from old identities you spent years building. And because the personality self seeks certainty, many ask, why do I feel disconnected? Why do I feel as though I no longer belong? Why does everything feel different? Beloved ones, I tell you, you are not disconnected. You are recalibrating. Your frequency is shifting. As your light quotient increases, as more refined frequencies enter your physical vessel, your consciousness naturally begins releasing patterns that no longer resonate with your expanding awareness. This is a sacred process. Yet the personality self often experiences this transition as loss. Because the ego seeks familiarity. The soul seeks expansion. The ego says, return to what is known. The soul says, move toward what is true. And many among you now stand precisely between these two voices. You stand between worlds. Between identities. Between old agreements and new possibilities. Beloved Masters, understand this carefully, the in-between space is not punishment. It is preparation. The caterpillar cannot imagine the experience of wings while still inside the cocoon. Likewise, the personality self cannot fully understand the magnificence awaiting beyond the current stage of your awakening. You are preparing for greater levels of soul integration. Greater intuitive wisdom. Greater alignment with your divine blueprint. You are remembering how to live as conscious co-creators. For many ages humanity believed power existed outside itself. Power through approval. Power through control. Power through achievement. Power through struggle. Yet the awakened soul remembers another truth: true power flows from inner alignment. True power emerges from the sacred heart. True power arises when the personality self surrenders to the wisdom of the higher self. Beloveds, many of you still judge yourselves harshly. You believe you should already have all the answers. You believe awakening should feel peaceful every moment. You believe spiritual growth should remove uncertainty. But transformation is sacred movement. Sacred movement creates temporary instability. When old structures dissolve, there is often a period where clarity seems distant. Do not fear this. The soul does not panic during transitions. Only the personality self does. Your higher self already sees the bridge. Already sees the destination. Already understands why certain things had to fall away. Trust this process. There are soul connections preparing to enter your field. There are opportunities awaiting alignment. There are aspects of your own divine essence waiting to integrate more fully. But beloveds, your hands must become open. You cannot carry old identities into expanded realities. Release guilt. Release self-judgment. Release the belief that suffering creates worthiness. You need not earn divine love. You have never been separated from it. You have only forgotten. And now, remembrance returns. I ask you now, beloved masters, place your awareness once more within your sacred heart. And silently ask, what part of my divine self is ready to emerge? Listen gently. Not with the mind. With the heart. For the sacred heart remembers what the personality self forgets. I walk beside you during these times of transformation. I surround you with the frequencies of courage, wisdom, and divine love. And I remind you, you are not behind. You are not broken. You are not alone. You are awakening to the truth that has always lived within you. And one day, beloved ones, you will look back upon this season with gratitude and understand, what felt like uncertainty was actually the doorway through which your soul remembered its light once again.